hello, good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome back to another Basketball Weekly. We are back in this bitch. We got a lot to talk about. We are back on schedule. Drop the intro title card, Joe, right now. Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another Basketball Weekly. Like I said, we are back on schedule this week. It is Sunday. We got the video out. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into it. So first things first. I hate that I was right. You know what I'm saying? For the first time in a long time, I'm actually upset that I was correct about something. You know, usually when it comes to these basketball things, I'll be 100% honest with you. I'll be having a couple hits, but I'll be having a whole bunch of misses. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's okay. That's a part of being a basketball fan. You know what I'm saying? As a basketball fan, you're gonna have outlandish takes. You're gonna have takes that aren't gonna hit, but the ones that do hit, those are the ones that are gonna make you feel real good. But it actually does not apply right here because I'm actually very upset that I was right about the Cleveland Cavaliers. So going into All-Star break, the Cavs were sitting at that 4th spot out east. You know what I'm saying? I believe they're still sitting at the 4th spot. And coming out of All-Star break, I had the feeling that they were going to come out and they were going to be flat. They were going to be, you know what I'm saying? They weren't going to be that same, you know what I'm saying? They were going to play good. They were still going to play good coming out the All-Star break. It wasn't going to translate to the same amount of wins. And in their last 10 games, they're 3-7. Although Darius Garland has been performing out of his mind, you could just clearly tell by watching these games. You know what I'm saying? The team is beat up right now. They have really no help at the guard position right now, with Ricky Rubio being out and Sexton being out earlier in the year, and then with them bringing Rondo, and then Rondo's been out for the past couple weeks. It's just, you could tell they're definitely reeling when it comes to that guard position. I believe they got Archie Goodwin right now getting burned. No offense to Archie Goodwin. I don't think that's a guy that you would want in your rotation as a NBA coach, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, no disrespect to Archie, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I feel like you would want a higher level of point guard, you know what I'm saying? Especially to be your backup point guard. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, I hate to see that for Cleveland, because they definitely were a really good success story this year. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely a team that although I didn't really watch much of their games because they were playing in Cleveland. I'm not crazy like that. But they were a team that was really interesting to play because they're playing a different kind of basketball than, you know what I'm saying, than other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of teams, you know what I'm saying, they break out that small ball lineup where they have, you know what I'm saying, essentially 4 wing players and 1 big man, who are or essentially five wing players. You know what I'm saying? All of them just, you know what I'm saying, rotating and playing switch defense. But the Cleveland Cavaliers this season, they decided to actually take an approach, and they started playing some more tall ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's always interesting when there's that one team who doesn't really follow the mold, you know what I'm saying, of how we're supposed to play. Because, you know what I'm saying, ever since 2015 or 2014, 15, around that era, you know what I'm saying, it's been the small ball lineup where you have, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of talented guards and, I'm saying, potentially 1 big man. And then you had time in Houston when Daryl Morey said, fuck it, we're just gonna eliminate the big man entirely. We're just gonna play 5 smalls, and according to the analytics, that's what the best decision would be. Now, we all know that team didn't end up winning a championship because obviously I feel like it's just impossible to play basketball and not have anybody above 6'9" on your team. Like, basketball is a tall man sport, so to take away the tall man portion of it, kind of, I don't see anywhere how that was going to benefit your team. But like I said, Cleveland come here and they're them bringing back more of the old tall ball lineup, them bringing out Jared Allen, them bringing out Mobley, them having Laurie Markkinen. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it really added a new dynamic. It added to something that a bunch of teams weren't able to see, and probably a lot of teams weren't able to counter. Because, you know what I'm saying, one thing you can counter good jump shooting. Like, so if a team comes out and shoots 50%, you have the same ability to come out and shoot 50%. But if a team has bringing out a team of players of 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, and your tallest guy is 6'9", 6'8", 6'10", there's no way that you can really make up that difference outside of, you know what I'm saying, heart. And yeah, a lot of these NBA teams, especially in the regular season, they're not gonna bring the proper heart required, you know what I'm saying, battle 6'10" and up dudes for 48 minutes, especially when they got another game in a couple of days. So Cleveland came out, they were definitely playing a different brand of basketball that made them real interesting. The rise of Darius Garland was definitely a thing that I enjoyed. Definitely something that I enjoyed watching this year. You know what I'm saying? Over the past years, I just known that it was a Darius Garland, Colin Sexton duo out there. You know what I'm saying? I know about Sexton because, you know, if you're a hoop fan, you know about the name Colin Sexton for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his high school days, Alabama days. But Darius Garland was kind of just like the second guard to me. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of just off guard. I knew they were having to make a decision on the two at some point, and me personally, I was thinking that it would be an easy decision to go ahead and keep Colin Sexton. But after seeing what Darius Garland's capable of doing, he's having 20 games in his 20 plus points in his last 5 games, 2 30-point games. You know what I'm saying? He had a game where he shot 80% from the field, a game where he had 19 assists. There's nothing that this guy really can't do when it comes to running an offense and directing his team. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that really goes a long way. And going for the future, that's a guy that I would definitely want to prioritize. Jesus Christ, a guy I definitely want to prioritize on my team. You know what I'm saying? What this means for Cleveland for the rest of the season, I'm not sure. Like they're sliding down the standings right now. And you know what I'm saying, there's some teams out east right now that are really on the rise. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to make up that ground and be able to catch up to a team like I believe Boston recently passed them. I don't want them to fall, you know what I'm saying, below Toronto. I mean, honestly, all right, here's the Nets fan coming at me, all right? So if Brooklyn were to stay at the 8th spot, I would want Cleveland to fall down to that 9th spot. Because I would, at some point, I would hope that Ben and Kyrie be able to play. And if the game is against Toronto, then Kyrie can't play at all. I'd rather play against Cleveland from the, you know what I'm saying, the Nets fan portion of me. But, you know what I'm saying, just worrying about the Cleveland Cavaliers, worrying about how I want them to succeed. I would not want them to keep sliding down the standings because they're just going to make it a harder matchup for them. And they already was a team that was kind of teetering between first round exit and potentially making a second round matchup. And I feel like if they fall anywhere below that 6th seed against that playing situation, they could potentially not make the playoffs at all. And I would honestly hate that for them, you know? So listen, hold the door, Darius. Hold the door, Darius, Jared, Evan. Y'all boys been balling all year. Listen, if anything, the city of Cleveland should be proud of y'all regardless. Y'all been hooping y'all ass off. And listen, stick it through, fellas. All right, so this next thing that's been kind of pressing on my mind lately, and it's something that's really been happening all season because the things that I've been seeing. Cause I watch a lot of you know what I'm saying, basketball related content over the course of the week. My job, I'm a delivery driver, so I spend a lot of the time just in the car, stuff on the radio and whatnot. And the one thing that I noticed is that we've definitely reached an era where it's like you're not allowed to criticize people for doing their job correctly. You know what I'm saying? Every single time that you get to criticizing somebody, it's like, oh, they're still a person though. They're still a human. They still have feelings. And it's like, yeah, one of the big things about being human is the fact that, yes, we do have feelings, and then the fact that we're able to compartmentalize those feelings. You know what I'm saying? Other animals have the ability to, you know what I'm saying, if they're angry, to put their anger aside to get a business deal done. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need to, the thing that we do by basically babying players and trying to create this force field around them, it just creates a level of entitlement where you end up with guys like Russell Westbrook, a guy where you criticize him on his play and he's in press conferences honestly just saying nonsense. He's really just trying to be the big dog, trying to be the, oh, you can't tell me anything. I'm Russell Westbrook. I'm in the NBA. I've been doing this shit for years. You can't tell me nothing. My man, at some point, the thing that one of the big things about, one of the best things about being human is the fact that we have the ability to take accountability for our actions. Animals in the wild don't take accountability for shit. They just do it. They just do it. They don't have to apologize to nobody after they do it. They don't got to worry about nobody's feelings. They don't have to go on Twitter and see people's explanation in their freaking whole life epilogue about why you shouldn't be making fun of players. They don't have to take accountability for anything like that. But the thing about humans is that that's something that we have got to do. And when you're not performing, especially when your job is something as frivolous as a game of basketball, you're playing a game, there has to be a point where it's like, you know what, my mindset cannot be, oh yeah, I've been playing this game long, I don't even need to get any better at the game. The game is just whatever. You know what I'm saying? If we want to lose the game, that happens. If you're at that mindset, then you need to just go ahead and eliminate the game. Go ahead and eliminate the game from your life. Stop playing basketball. Start doing other things. You know what I'm saying? Go make some Mountain Dew commercials or some shit. Because it's just annoying when you look at the fact that people in their regular everyday life have to take accountability for their actions. And I feel like the worst thing is that when you look at these NBA players, they can't even take accountability for the basketball portion of life. It's a game. It's not that serious. And when you're not living up to that level of performance, you deserve to receive criticism, be in the term of respectful banter or berating, as long as it's respectful. Don't start calling people out their name, or in the form of booing, the most original way of showing you don't like something. And for Draymond Green to come out this past week on his podcast saying how LeBron James, how the Lakers fans are spoiled brats for booing after them getting blown out by 30 against the fucking Pelicans. It's like, Draymond, there's no way in hell you understand that as a basketball player that you can call somebody, especially when you're playing bad. Like, I understand that if the Lakers were a team that was, you know what I'm saying, for the majority of the year, they've been playing great basketball. They've been, you know what I'm saying, they've been high energy, they've been showing good effort the whole year. I feel you. Then I feel like, all right, listen, you can't come out here and say these guys are spoiled brats. These guys are playing their ass off. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at how this Lakers team's been playing, they've been playing lethargic, they've been playing lazy, they've been playing like they just been, oh man, like another day in the office. Like, they don't want to fucking be there. You got people who are working, they're paying their hard-earned money, you know what I'm saying, fucking working 30, 40, 50, 60 plus hours a week. They finally get this chance to bring their family out to watch LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, you know, the big draw in town, living in fucking Los Angeles. And now it's like, oh, we're just gonna come out here, we're gonna play half-hearted, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna play like we don't give a shit. We know we're losing, we're a couple games under 500, it's whatever, we don't even give a fuck. It's like, bro, come on, of course I'm gonna boo you, of course, because at the end of the day, I gotta get my money back for this. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna come out, you gonna play like shit, and you gonna call me a bitch like Trevor Ariza did, nigga. At the very least, I'm gonna boo you. At the very least, I'm going to boo the shit out of you. If it was up to me, I would boo you until there's no time left on the clock. For the minute we got down by 30 till there was no time on the clock and you had just finished walking off the court, I would have been booing my ass off because you are not putting in the same pain that I am when it comes to this past work week. Straight up. Now, I'm also the same person who will say that NBA fans be on some straight bullshit. NBA fans got to be some of the most emotional people of all time. You know what I'm saying? If you have a bad game, they will go around. Some of them will go down the list and just go talk about all the bad things you ever did in your life. And listen, we ain't talking about those niggas. Those niggas they bitches. Fuck them. We ain't talking about them. I'm just talking about the regular everyday fan who just keeps up with the sport. You know what I'm saying? Who may interact on social media every once in a while. Who may, you know what I'm saying? Who may follow his favorite player. You know what I'm saying? You know what my goal is, who's buying jerseys, who's buying memorabilia, who's going to the games. That fan who's just a respectful everyday dude, that person deserves better than the effort that the Lakers have been putting on. And they deserve, and even the reporters, I'd say, they deserve better than the answers they've been getting from Russell Westbrook in response to him playing like shit this past year. Super frustrating thing, man. It's super frustrating thing. That's probably one of the things I hate the most about, you know what I'm saying, being an NBA fan, is the fact that sometimes these players just come off as so entitled and so like some of the I can't say, I won't even say they feel like they're above us. It's like they feel like they're above reprimand. Right? I feel like they're above consequence. I feel like they're above criticism, which is crazy because if you think about, as a basketball player, as somebody who's played basketball majority of his life, criticism is honestly the thing that gets you to what you want in basketball. You know what I'm saying? You think Kobe Bryant wins all those championships? If people are telling Kobe all the time, you know, Kobe, I feel like you're great. You're just a great teammate, man. You're just an overall an amazing dude. You know, I just feel like you're great. You know what I'm saying? You do that fadeaway thing really well. You know what I'm saying? You're really like the next Michael Jordan. Like you're fucking fantastic, dude. No, it's the people who are telling Kobe like, yo, bro, you can't do that shit. The people telling Kobe like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Ever since Shaq left, there's no one hell you to win the championship. That criticism, that is the shit that really burns you. That's shit that really will take you to that next level. I feel like LeBron won his first championship in OKC. It was that much sweeter because of all the shit he got after that shit against Dallas. Playing against Dallas, him getting berated, him getting booed, frozen one, everybody in the media every single day, everybody on Twitter every single day just going in, ham on him. I don't think it was Twitter back then. It might have been Facebook at that time. People on Facebook was going crazy on LeBron. So, and you got to think about that. Over the course of the summer, LeBron had to take that every single day, fester that shit every single day. And then when it came down to playing the game, he had to release it. And when you release it properly, you can win a championship. But I feel like when you're somebody who's going to just shrug off the criticism, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I know me best. It's like, bro, no, eat that shit. You're the one playing bad. You're the one who's not living up to the standard. That's not up to anybody else to fucking accept. You shouldn't accept it either. So that's just something that's been on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do a lot of rants on this channel and shit like that, but all this pampering and if I see another picture of Russell Westbrook's fucking family on Twitter, bro, I might fucking hurt somebody. Because there's nothing more annoying than trying to just be a basketball fan, be an upset basketball fan, just playing like shit, and hearing somebody talk about something. Come on, dog, he's got a family. Bitch, I didn't say nothing about that nigga's family. So this past week, I actually had another video planned to come out with my predictions for the second half of the season. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish that video, so we're gonna make another video to make it up. But you know what I'm saying, in that video, I want to describe the race for that 4 seed out west. You know what I'm saying, that 4 seed out west is probably one of the most, between that and the 2 seed, are probably one of the most open seeds out west. You know what I'm saying, the 1st seed is locked up. I believe anywhere. Well, of course, the 4th seed is open. At 5 through 5 and 6 are also going to be open, but I feel like the 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 7, the play-in position are going to be locked in. The play-in teams are the play-in teams, but the teams who are going to be matching up for that first round series, I feel like that's yet to be decided. And I feel like when you look at the teams that are fighting for that spot, with Dallas, with Denver, with Utah, it's like it's a real interesting race between the 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? With Utah falling out of that top 3 and them essentially being thrown into the Wolves part of the Western Conference. Like that middle pack for the West is like super like congested, super tight, super talented. Like, you know what I'm saying, from that 4 to that, I'd even say from that 4 all the way down to that 7 seed, it's like you're gonna face a team that's legitimately has a chance to win a first round series. You know what I'm saying? So Utah falling down into that bottom 4. You know what I'm saying? Now they're potentially in there with the Denvers of the world, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter scheduled to be coming back soon. You got Luka Doncic. Ever since they traded KP, Luka's been out of his mind. And I'll be real with you, one of the trades that got probably the least attention was the Kristaps Porzingis trade. But when that trade happened, I thought about it. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, the Mavericks getting Spencer Dinwiddie is. That could potentially be something, because although Spencer hasn't been playing like himself in Washington, he hadn't been looking like himself. I really didn't see a reason why him coming off his ACL injury, he wouldn't be able to still play the way that he played, because he doesn't really play based off a lot of explosion, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, powerful drives to the basket. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of shifty stuff, a lot of shift work, getting past people. You know what I'm saying, he's got a nice little pull-up game, he's got a nice little pull-up 3 game, he can finish in the lane. So him coming off injury, I really felt like that was definitely a fluke of what was going on over in Washington. And if you look at the game yesterday against Sacramento, where he came in and dropped a 36 piece, he dropped a 36 piece, you can definitely see what I'm saying about in that game, where he could be like, yo, even though he's coming off an injury, even though he's coming off that ACL tear, he's definitely a guy who can still contribute, especially in an offense that has the space that Dallas has now that Kristaps Porzingis is out the middle. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like that honestly puts Dallas in the most interesting position to really, you know what I'm saying, get that 4 spot, and then get that 4 spot, potentially win a first round series and potentially even win a second round series, because potentially we're looking at Dallas facing an injured Phoenix team in round 2. Now, come that time, Chris Paul is believed to be back. I believe he's scheduled to come back before the end of the regular season, or probably just for probably a week left in the regular season. And for that happening, like you come into a team, or come into a series where Phoenix is playing against Dallas, and you know Luka is a guy who can win a playoff series by himself. I believe with the team they have this year, they have Dorian Finney-Smith performing at a really high level. Jalen Brunson's having a career year. You know what I'm saying? Now they have Spencer Dinwiddie. I still believe Davis Bertans is somebody who can thrive in that Dallas system, because with Luka having the ball, especially in the playoffs, with Luka having the ball in his hands over 50-60% of the time, you definitely going to want a guy who's going to just be able to go catch and shoot shooter. And I feel like one of those things you don't lose is the ability to shoot. So although Davis Bertans hasn't been the exact same shooter he has been, you know what I'm saying, historically, I definitely will say that I feel like he is a guy who is just like, he could flip the switch. He could flip the switch to the guy, like, you know what I'm saying. I believe he had a year where he shot over 40% and over 40% for a year. I don't feel like that just goes away. I don't feel like that it comes to a point where you just lose the ability to shoot the basketball after that. So Davis Bertans potentially turn the switch on. Spencer Dinwiddie, like I already said, it's just this Dallas team is real interesting to me. I do believe that they can knock off a Phoenix team and potentially get to a Western Conference Finals. And yeah, I feel like that's cool. Pretending like the thing that I probably dislike the most about the Mavericks is the fact that they have that range from being a first round exit, or potentially being a Western Conference Finals exit, or potentially a Finals team. So it's real interesting. You know what I'm saying? They're one of the teams, along with the Celtics, where I feel like they have like this ability to, you know what I'm saying, take it to another level. They just need some breaks to fall their way. And with the way things have been unraveling, with the way Luka's been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks were able to, you know what I'm saying, make a push this year and have a real good finish. So originally I had the plan to record this, you know what I'm saying, yesterday afternoon. You know what I'm saying, when I was free, I was over here at the crib just chilling. But I was like, nah, I think I'll wait until after the Warriors Lakers game. because, you know what I'm saying, it's LeBron, it's Steph, something great is bound to happen. And I ended up falling asleep during the game, so I ended up not even seeing like the shit live. But I wake up and LeBron James had 56 points. 56 points. Steph had 30. It was a great game. The one thing that these Lakers Warriors games do have, they are always great games. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's really been a time where either team has blown the other team out. I believe that just that Lakers and that Steph Curry and that LeBron dynamic is just bound to give you great games. And coming out of the game, I see a lot of criticism towards Steve Kerr, and I see a lot of criticism towards Steve Kerr quite often, honestly, after Warriors losses. It's usually due to things like his rotation, due to things like who the players that he plays at a certain time. That's the rotation. You know what I'm saying? His rotation, his substitution pattern, that's all a part of the same thing. Anyway, they're always just talking about the things that Steve Kerr is not doing. You know what I'm saying? As far as the players that he's playing, as far as the minutes that he plays, Steph, as far as, you know, I saw a tweet that even said that Steve Kerr has a thing for, you know what I'm saying, the role player guys like the Jordan Pooles and the Damian Lees of the world, because he was a role player. He was a guy who hit that big shot as a guy playing with Michael Jordan. So he's trying to call out that next Steve Kerr. And I feel like some of the criticism from Steve Kerr definitely is warranted. The Warrior games that I watched, there are definitely some times where I can definitely be like, hey, there are definitely some questionable lineups. Like there was time, I believe there was a game recently where Steve Kerr subbed out Steph Curry in the fourth quarter for Moses Moody. You know what I'm saying? I believe that was a game against Dallas. It's things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's things like him changing Steph's rotation to now Steph doesn't play the first 6 minutes of every quarter anymore. In the last 6 minutes of the, I think he used to play the first 6 minutes of the first and third, and the last 6 minutes of the second and fourth. I feel like Steve Kerr has changed that up, so now Steph's playing in a weird rhythm. Ever since Klay Thompson's come back, he's kind of been letting Klay just kind of run wild, run rampant, kind of take whatever shots that he wants. And with a guy like Klay Thompson, it's like you're not upset with that. Klay taking those shots, but what you could tell, Klay is clearly not the Klay Thompson that he was back in the day just yet. I feel like he will get to that point, but I feel like clearly right now, if you let him just do whatever he wants to do, let him just run basically rampant, it's gonna end up hurting the team, and to a team that already doesn't have Draymond. I also listen, and this is a little side tangent, right? I do feel like not having Draymond is kind of exposing Steve Kerr, because if we're being real, I feel like the heartbeat of that team is Draymond Green, from a mental aspect and from an emotional aspect of it. So he's the guy who's going to hype up the guys. He's the guy who's going to get everybody hype. But he's also the guy who's going to get guys in the right position, make sure guys are, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing, being where they need to be, setting the right screens, you know what I'm saying, getting Steph open, getting Klay open. He really is the guy who quarterbacks all of that. So him not being there really kind of puts more of the onus on Steve Kerr to be like, all right, listen, man, now it's time for you to be the head coach. It's time for you to be the guy. And it's time and time again you get to these games where Steve Kerr is just kind of getting coached from people that you personally don't feel like he should get out coached by to be a top 15 coach. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that game yesterday, I feel like the Warriors have the ability to beat the Lakers every single game that they play them. Even when it comes to a game where LeBron is having 56 points and having a great game, and Russ is playing decent, and you know what I'm saying, the guys are playing good, I still feel like you're the better team, so you have the ability to win that game. Now in the NBA, anybody can win on any given night, but the primetime games, the game that you want to win, because I feel like as an NBA team, there are games that you guys really do get up for. You guys really do want to win, and I feel like the game against the Lakers and LeBron on primetime is a game that you want to win. There's a reason. There's no reason why even LeBron having the best game of his season, why you guys should have lost that game. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna have to go back, and maybe I'll make a video about it. I'm gonna have to go back a dive into how exactly they lost this game, because I don't really feel like there's really a situation where the Warriors should lose to the Lakers on any occasion, just due to the fact of what the Lakers aren't and what the Lakers are. I mean, what the Lakers aren't and what the Warriors are, you know. So I guess I just want to give my quick little 2 cents on that game. It was real interesting, you know what I'm saying. I wish I got to watch it live. Listen, Bron 56 points, you wildin', bro. You might not be able to guard a stop sign, bro, but you could drop buckets. I was watching the highlights earlier. This nigga Jeff Van Gundy was like, heat checks never work, and LeBron James came down and bodied a fucking heat check from 30 feet. Yeah, listen, definitely missed a great game last night, but I'm probably gonna watch a condensed game in a little bit. And yeah, all right. So finally, I'm very excited to be back. Very excited to be bringing back the Him Player of the Week award. Now, if you don't know, this is an award that we give to players who really have been showing their ass and been balling on another level in the association. And honestly, with me not being around for the past couple weeks, there's honestly a lot of people that are, you know what I'm saying, eligible for this award. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Jason Tatum, guys like Jaylen Brown, guys like Darius Garland, guys like Shai Gilgeous just come back from his injury. He's been playing out of control. Guys like Joel, guys like James Harden, even ever since he got to Philly, he's been playing great. But the person who I would give the award to this week is a guy who I feel has really who really could have been eligible for the award plenty of weeks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I kind of said that a lot. It's a guy who's been, you know what I'm saying, who's been moved into a new position this month. Yes, this month. The guy's been moved into a new position this year. A guy who's had to, you know what I'm saying, be his first time ever playing point guard, and for him to be the point guard for MVP candidate, he's doing an amazing job. And ever since he's been moved to a more off-ball role because of the new superstar point guard edition, he's just been playing out. He had his mind averaging 26.8 points per game on 65% from the field, 70% from three, and 85% from the free throw line. Those are amazing shooting splits. And the guy that's going to be our award winner today is Mr. Tyrese Maxey. Shout out to that boy, Reese Maxey, man. He's been balling out of control all year. Ever since rookie year, when there was that game against Denver when they only played like 8 people. Or 7 people, you know what I'm saying? Ever since that game, he came out, he had 39. He was a guy who's always been on my radar. And ever since with the whole situation with Ben Simmons this year, Ben Simmons not being there and Reese being moved into that starting point guard role, I feel like he's done an amazing job at it. He's definitely shown that great playmaking ability while still showing that scoring prowess. He's a guy who honestly, whose play style, it's to make this comparison because he's actually been around longer than this player, but I feel like he's a guy who plays like a guy like Ayo Dosunmu, a guy who can do really anything and be anywhere on the court for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Ayo can play the point guard, he can play that off-ball role, he can, you know, he can defend, he could facilitate, he can score, and Tyrese Maxey does that same thing for Philly. You know what I'm saying? But listen, it's real great. Shout out to my boy Reese. Shout out to Philly. Philly, I believe, is 4-0 or 4-1. I believe they lost last night since they got James Harden. So they're making plays, man. They're making moves, and they're in a real interesting position for closing out this season. But listen, let's go ahead and get out of here. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your favorite moment for this past week is. Let's talk about it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Basketball Weekly is over. Deuces.